This video is about Aphrodite protects mortal lovers until curse unleashes. If this myth excites you, please like the video, share it with friends, and write in the comments how it pulled you into the adventure. Aphrodite protects mortal lovers until curse unleashes. Part 1. In a realm of Elysia, where the sun kissed the horizon and the gods strode among mortals, passion ruled the hearts of many. It was a land woven with the threads of love, where Aphrodite, the radiant goddess of beauty, presided over the union of souls. She watched over her favored mortals, guiding them through the tempestuous waters of love, ensuring that their hearts remained unbroken in a world fraught with tragedy and betrayal. Yet darkness loomed on the fringes of Elysia, whispering secrets that could shatter the very bonds Aphrodite sought to protect. In a village of Thalassia, nestled between Emerald Hills and Azure Sea, lived two star-crossed lovers, Callisto and Lysander. A connection was forged in the fires of youth, a bond as fierce and unyielding as the ocean crashing against the cliffs. Callisto, with silken locks the color of sunlit wheat, possessed a spirit as wild as the tempestuous winds that danced through the trees. Lysander, a young warrior with a heart forged in honor, bore the weight of his lineage upon his shoulders. He was the son of a respected general, a lineage that demanded strength and bravery. Together, they carved a sanctuary from the world's chaos, sharing dreams of the future beneath the starlit skies. But as the days turned to weeks, an ominous shadow crept into their idyllic existence. One fateful evening, as they walked hand in hand along the shore, a figure loomed before them, a sorceress named Thera, driven by envy and spite. Long had she desired the love that bloomed so effortlessly between mortals, and now, with a heart as cold as the darkest winter night, she sought to tarnish their bond. "Sweet mortals," Thera crooned, her voice dripping with venom. "You think love conquers all? I shall see it wither before my eyes." With a flick of her wrist, she unleashed a curse, an insidious whisper that slithered into the hearts of Callisto and Lysander, sowing seeds of doubt and despair. In that moment, a tempest erupted within them. Callisto glanced at Lysander, her heart racing, but shadows of uncertainty clouded her gaze. "Do you truly love me?" she questioned, her voice barely a whisper against the roar of the sea. "Of course I do," Lysander replied, confusion threading through his words. "Why would you ask such a thing?" But the curse wrapped around them like a shroud, twisting their thoughts. Each heartbeat echoed with the ache of betrayal. Thera reveled in the turmoil, her laughter a haunting melody that drifted on the wind. "Love is but a fleeting illusion," she taunted, her eyes gleaming with malice. "Soon you shall see." From the heights of Olympus, Aphrodite sensed the disturbance in the realm of mortals. Her heart, woven with compassion and empathy, ached for the lovers ensnared in Thera's treachery. "I must intervene," she declared, her voice resonating with divine authority. The goddess descended, shimmering like starlight, cloaked in a gown of silken clouds. As she materialized before Callisto and Lysander, the air crackled with energy. "Fear not, my children," she spoke, her voice as soothing as a gentle breeze. "Your love is pure, but a dark force seeks to undermine it. I shall guide you through this trial." But the shadows of doubt continued to sway, their roots burrowing deeper into their hearts. "You cannot fight fate, divine one," Thera hissed, emerging from the shadows, her power swelling like a tempest. "Their love is as fragile as a flower in the winter frost." Aphrodite stood resolute, her gaze unwavering. "You underestimate the strength of love, sorceress," she replied, the air thick with tension. "Love is a force that can conquer even the darkest of curses, but it requires faith, loyalty, and perseverance." With a flick of her wrist, Aphrodite summoned a radiant light, enveloping Callisto and Lysander in its warmth. "Together, you must face the trials ahead. Only through unwavering devotion can you break Thera's curse." In that moment, the lovers felt a flicker of hope ignite within them, yet fear clawed at their hearts, whispering of betrayal and anguish. "Will we be strong enough?" Lysander questioned, his brow furrowed with uncertainty. Callisto squeezed his hand, her heart racing. "We must be. If we allow doubt to fester, we risk losing everything." With determination, they turned to Aphrodite, their voices unified. "We will fight for our love." The goddess nodded, a proud smile gracing her lips. "Then prepare yourselves, for the path ahead will be fraught with challenges. Trust in each other, and let love guide your way." With those words, she bestowed upon them a shimmering token, a necklace entwined with vines and adorned with a single radiant pearl. "This charm will protect your hearts from doubt," she explained, her voice echoing with divine resonance. "Wear it always, for it will remind you of the love that brought you together." Before they could respond, Thera unleashed her wrath. "You think this charm will save you?" she shrieked, her voice a cacophony of rage. "I shall unleash the fury of the abyss upon you." In a blinding flash, the sorceress conjured a tempest, her dark magic swirling around them like a violent storm. The winds howled, and the sea roared with fury. Callisto and Lysander clung to each other, their hearts pounding, as they faced the onslaught of their vengeance. "Remember your love?" Aphrodite's voice resonated through the chaos, a beacon of light amidst the darkness. "Do not let her words poison your heart." With newfound resolve, Callisto held the necklace tightly in her palm. "We can't give in," she shouted over the tempest. "We must stand united." Lysander nodded, determination igniting within him. "Together, we shall face this darkness." As the winds howled around them, the lovers closed their eyes, drawing strength from one another. They stood firm, hearts beating as one as the tempest swirled around them. The world faded, leaving only the pulse of their love. In that moment, the storm unleashed its fury, crashing waves and howling winds merging into a cacophony of chaos. But amid the chaos, a calmness enveloped them, a serene reminder of the love they shared. "Let our love shine brighter than any darkness," Callisto proclaimed, her voice rising above the storm. Lysander lifted his chin, eyes blazing with an unwavering fire. "I choose you, now and always." And as they declared their love, the tempest began to falter, the darkness swelling and recoiling as if repelled by the purity of their bond. The necklace glowed with an ethereal light, illuminating the shadows that sought to consume them. Thera's fury turned to disbelief, her eyes widening as the very essence of their love pushed back against her dark magic. "No, this cannot be," she screeched, her power faltering in the face of their unwavering devotion. With a final pulse of energy, the necklace erupted in radiant light, illuminating the storm, casting the shadows away. The tempest shattered, and in its place, the sun broke through the clouds, bathing the land in warm, golden light. Callisto and Lysander opened their eyes, breathless as they beheld the power of their love. The curse that had threatened to consume them lay in tatters at their feet. They had faced Thera's darkness and emerged triumphant, but they knew this battle was merely the beginning. Aphrodite appeared once more, her eyes shining with pride. "You have shown courage and devotion, but the path ahead is still fraught with peril. Thera will not rest until she sees your love destroyed." "Then we will stand ready," Lysander vowed, his voice steady and strong. "We will not allow her to tear us apart." Callisto nodded, her spirit ignited by the trials they had faced. "Together, we are stronger than any darkness." Aphrodite smiled, her heart swelling with admiration for the lovers before her. "Then you shall embark on a quest to seek the Guardian of Hearts, a powerful being who can strengthen your bond against Thera's wrath. But be warned, the path is treacherous, filled with challenges that will test your love." With renewed purpose, Callisto and Lysander set forth on their journey, their hearts intertwined like vines, and the world before them teemed with possibilities. Little did they know that the trials ahead would test them in ways they could never have imagined. As they ventured into the unknown, the winds of fate began to shift, and the shadows weaved a darker tapestry around them. The love they fought to protect would soon be challenged by forces beyond their comprehension, and the price of their bond would be steep. Thus began their legendary quest, a journey woven in destiny, honor, and a relentless pursuit of love, a tale that would echo through the ages, resounding in the hearts of all who dared to believe in the power of love, even in the face of despair. To be continued. # Aphrodite protects mortal lovers until curse unleashes. Part 2. As dawn broke over the horizon, painting the skies in hues of gold and crimson, Callisto and Lysander stood at the edge of the Whispering Woods, where the trees loomed like ancient sentinels guarding the secrets of the world beyond. A gentle breeze rustled the leaves, carrying the lingering warmth of their victory over Thera's tempest. But beneath the beauty, a tremor of dread coursed through them. What other trials awaited? "Are you ready?" Callisto's voice trembled, not from fear, but from the electricity of anticipation coursing through her veins. She grasped the necklace, the radiant pearl shimmering against her chest as a promise of their unbreakable bond. Lysander turned to her, his azure eyes igniting with determination. "As long as we are together, we can face anything." With a nod, he grasped her hand firmly, igniting a spark of hope that surged between them. Together, they stepped into the embrace of the Whispering Woods, where shadows danced and whispered secrets amongst themselves. The further they ventured, the thicker the trees grew, their gnarled branches intertwining overhead like the fingers of ancient beings, weaving a tapestry of light and dark. Yet, amidst the enchanting beauty, the air trembled with foreboding. The tranquility soon shattered, while a low growl echoed through the woods, reverberating like thunder, and the ground beneath them quaked. From the thicket emerged a monstrous creature, its scales glistening with venomous hues, eyes burning like embers. It was the serpent of Balthazar, the guardian of hearts rumored to be both protector and punisher, tasked with testing the purity of love. Who dares tread upon the sacred ground? The serpent hissed, its forked tongue flicking menacingly. The air thickened with tension as the lovers met its gaze, steadfast despite the fear gnawing at their hearts. "We seek the guardian of hearts," Lysander declared, his voice echoing with resolve, though his pulse raced. "We wish to strengthen our bond against the darkness that threatens our love." The serpentess laughter echoed like a chorus of demons, chilling the very marrow of their bones. "Love is but a fleeting flame, easily extinguished. What proof do you possess of its strength?" Callista stepped forward, her heart pounding. "We have faced the tempest of Thera's curse and emerged together. Our love has endured trials, and we will prove its worth. Then face me in a duel," it challenged, coiling tightly, its iridescent scales flashing ominously. "Only through combat can true love be forged." Lysander drew his sword, its blade gleaming in the dappled light. "Then let this be a testament to our love." The serpent lunged, a blur of scales and fury, aiming for Lysander's heart. With a swift motion, he sidestepped, slashing the air where the creature had been moments before. The serpent twisted, its tail crashing against a tree and splintering it, sending shards of wood flying like arrows. Callista's heart raced, adrenaline surging through her veins. "Lysander, watch out," she cried, the warning barely escaping her lips as the serpent's venomous fangs snapped inches from him. He staggered back, narrowly avoiding the deadly strike. "Together," he shouted, his voice cutting through the chaos. Callista nodded, summoning courage from their shared connection. They fought side by side, Callista wielding a dagger gifted by Aphrodite, its blade imbued with the essence of love. With every strike, they channeled their devotion, warding off the darkness that threatened to consume them. As the battle raged, the serpent coiled and lunged, its growls merging with the cacophony of the forest. "You fight with passion, but passion is not enough," it roared, deflecting Lysander's blade with its immense strength. "We fight for our hearts." Callista shouted back, darting forward to stab at the serpent's underbelly. The blade pierced through, and for a moment the serpent recoiled in pain. But the creature was relentless. It countered, its tail sweeping low to knock Lysander off his feet. He stumbled, but quickly regained his balance, eyes blazing with fury and love. "We cannot lose, Callista." With a fierce battle cry, they surged forward again, hearts synchronized in a rhythm of hope against despair. Each clash of steel against scale echoed through the woods, a testimony to the strength of their bond. Callista found an opening, and with a fierce scream, she thrust her dagger deep into the serpent's flesh. "Love is not a fleeting flame, it is a wildfire." Her words ignited a surge of energy between them. The serpent howled, its cries echoing through the forest. "You may have pierced my flesh, but the true test lies ahead. The curse of the heart is far from broken." With one final, desperate strike, the serpent spiraled into the air, vanishing into the ether with a hiss of smoke. Breathless, Callista and Lysander stood together, the remnants of their battle echoing in their ears. "Did we win?" Lysander gasped, his heart still racing. Callista clutched the necklace, its warmth pulsing against her skin. "We proved our love is strong enough to withstand the trials, but I fear the true challenge is yet to come." Suddenly, the woods fell silent, the air thick with anticipation. From the shadows emerged a radiant figure, cloaked in shimmering light, a manifestation of the guardian of hearts. Its voice flowed like honey, smooth and melodic. "You have triumphed over the serpent of Balthazar, but the heart's true trials lie in sacrifice and choice." "What must we do?" Lysander asked, his voice steady, though uncertainty flickered in his eyes. "To strengthen your bond, you must each willingly give a piece of your essence for the other," the guardian explained, its ethereal presence flickering. "Only through sacrifice can love be fortified against darkness." Callista's breath hitched. "What do you mean? How do we give our essence?" "Each must confront their deepest fears, willingly relinquishing a fragment of their soul to the other," the guardian instructed, the air shimmering with the weight of its words. "Only then can your love transcend the realm of mortals." Lysander exchanged a glance with Callista, fear mingling with resolve. "I will do it," he declared, gripping her shoulders. "I would face any darkness for you." Callista nodded, her heart swelling with love and trepidation. "And I for you, we are stronger together." The guardian nodded solemnly, raising its hands. "Prepare yourselves, the journey to your innermost fears begins now." With a burst of radiant light, the world around them shifted, the whispering woods dissolving into a swirling cosmos of stars and shadows. Callista and Lysander stood on the cusp of an abyss, the void echoing with whispers of lost hopes and buried fears. "Where are we?" Callista asked, fear gripping her heart. "This is the realm of the heart," the guardian's voice echoed, a distant murmur now. "Face your fears, and allow your burdens to be lifted." The ground trembled, and shadows coalesced into forms they recognized visions of loss, betrayal, and doubt. Calista saw her parents, their faces twisted in sorrow, whispering of her ultimate failure. "You will never find true love," their voices echoed, haunting her. "No," she cried out, shaking her head. "I refuse to believe this." "Do you truly think you deserve love?" the phantom echoed, its voice dripping with mockery. "You are but a fleeting moment, destined to fade." With every word, the shadows clawed at her heart, but then she heard Lysander's voice, steady and sure. "Remember our vow, Calista, we will never be alone." Summoning every ounce of strength, she countered the darkness encroaching upon her heart. "I am worthy of love, my heart is true, and I will not let fear consume me." At that moment, Lysander faced his own shadows, the spectres of doubt and despair swelling around him. He saw his father's disappointed gaze, the weight of expectation crashing over him like a wave. "You are destined to fail, just like all those before you," the phantom hissed, a reflection of his deepest insecurities. "Enough!" Lysander shouted, his voice cutting through the chaos. "I am not defined by my lineage, I choose my own path." With fierce determination, he reached out to Calista, their hands clasping as they faced the abyss together. "We are stronger than our fears, our love is a flame that cannot be extinguished." With their hearts united, they faced the shadows, pouring their essence into one another, illuminating the darkness with the brilliance of their bond. The air crackled as they merged their souls, a resounding pulse of love resonating through the cosmos. In that moment, the shadows shrieked, dissipating into wisps of smoke, vanquished by the light of their devotion. The guardian of hearts appeared once more, its eyes reflecting pride and awe. "You have faced your fears and emerged victorious. Your love transcends mortal bounds, becoming a force beyond measure." It. # Aphrodite protects mortal lovers until curse unleashes. Part 3. As the shimmering remnants of darkness faded into ethereal light, Calista and Lysander stood within the celestial realm, their souls entwined in a radiant embrace. The guardian of hearts, a divine presence bathed in luminescence, regarded them with admiration, its voice resonating like chimes in the wind. "You have forged a bond stronger than iron and more luminous than the stars." It gestured with graceful hands, and the cosmos around them sparkled with newfound vibrancy. "But your trials are not yet complete. A greater darkness stirs, and Thor's curse still lingers, seeking to tear you asunder." Calista's heart sank as the guardian's words settled upon them like a shroud of ice. "What must we face next?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper, fear threading through her resolve. "To confront true darkness, you must venture to the abyssal chasm, a realm where love is tested against the might of despair," the guardian replied, its form shimmering like sunlight on water. "There, you will confront Thora herself, and only through unwavering faith can you hope to break her curse." With a nod of determination, Lysander clasped Calista's hand, the warmth of their bond radiating like a beacon against the encroaching shadows. "Then we shall not falter. We will face whatever awaits in the chasm." "Then prepare yourselves," the guardian intoned, its voice echoing with urgency. "When you arrive, the chasm will bring forth your deepest doubts, twisting them into nightmares. Stay true to each other, and remember, love conquers all." In an instant, the world around them dissolved into a cascade of stars, and the lovers felt themselves pulled into a whirlpool of darkness. With a violent surge, they fell into the abyssal chasm, the air thick with an oppressive weight that pressed against their chests. As they landed on the cold, unforgiving ground, the chasm yawned before them, an endless void of shadows and echoes. The air crackled with a palpable tension, and a faint sound of laughter lingered in the darkness, twisted and mocking. "Welcome, dear mortals," a voice purred smooth and venomous, reverberating through the cavern. Thera emerged from the shadows, her form cloaked in darkness, eyes glinting like sharpened daggers. "Did you think your little trials would free you from me? Love is a fragile thing, easily shattered." Calista's heart raced as she confronted the sorceress, the memories of their previous encounters flooding her mind. "We are stronger than you think, Thera," she proclaimed, her voice fueled by the fire of their shared resolve. Thera's laughter echoed, a chilling symphony that resonated in the depths of the chasm. But you have yet to face the true nature of love's frailty. Let us see how long your bond withstands the weight of betrayal." With a wave of her hand, Thera conjured swirling shadows that coalesced around them. The darkness twisted and writhed, forming images that clawed at the lovers' insecurities. Calista watched in horror as the spectre of Lysander appeared before her, his face twisted in anguish. "You will never be enough for someone like me, Calista," it sneered, the darkness simulating his voice with cruel precision. "Your love is a burden, a chain that holds me back." "No, I won't believe this," Calista cried, shaking her head as tears streamed down her cheeks. She clung to the necklace, its warmth reminding her of the love they had fought for. "You are not my fear, Lysander, you are my strength." Meanwhile, Lysander faced his own spectre, the visage of Callista forming from the shadows. "You think you can protect me? You read only a distraction, a snare to keep me from greatness," it taunted, its voice dripping with disdain. "You are destined to drag me down." "Stop!" Lysander shouted, his voice cracking with emotion. "You are not real. Callista is my heart, my guiding star. I will not let your treachery tear us apart." As the shadows writhed and twisted around them, the lovers found themselves drawn back to one another, the gravity of their bond pulling them from despair. "We are not defined by our fears," Callista shouted, her voice ringing with conviction. "We fight for love." Together, they closed their eyes, surrendering to the radiant light that bound their souls. The air shimmered with energy, and the shadows recoiled, hissing in fury as Callista and Lysander channeled their love into a radiant force. "Your darkness is no match for our light," they cried in unison, their voices intertwining like a symphony of hope. The power of their union surged forth, illuminating the chasm with a brilliant glow that shattered the illusions surrounding them. Their expression twisted into one of rage as the shadows began to dissolve. "No, you will pay for this insolence." With a swift motion, she summoned a maelstrom of dark energy, hurling it toward the lovers like a tempest of destruction. But Callista and Lysander stood firm, their hearts beating as one. "We will not yield," he roared, and together, they thrust their hands forward, directing the light of their love against the oncoming storm. In a blinding explosion of brilliance, the two forces collided, creating a shockwave that reverberated through the chasm. The darkness shattered, scattering like ashes in the wind, while the light surged forth, illuminating the cavern in a kaleidoscope of colors. "Enough!" Thera screamed, her voice echoing through the chasm, but the shadows that surrounded her began to falter, shriveling under the intensity of Callista and Lysander's devotion. "You think you can defeat me? I am the darkness within every heart. But you are no match for our love." Callista shouted back, and with one final surge of power, the lovers combined their essence, releasing the full force of their bond against Thera. The darkness roared in fury, but it was eclipsed by the brilliance radiating from the lovers. The chasm trembled as the light surged forward, engulfing the sorceress in its embrace. "This is not the end." Thera screeched, her form beginning to dissolve into wisps of smoke. "I will return, and your love will be your downfall." With a final blinding flash, the light engulfed her completely, eradicating her presence from the chasm. The abyss fell silent, the oppressive air lifting as the lovers stood amidst the remnants of their battle, breathing heavily but victorious. "We did it," Lysander breathed, a mix of disbelief and elation flooding his heart. He turned to Callista, his eyes shimmering with unshed tears. "We faced the darkness and emerged stronger." Callista stepped forward, her heart swelling with love and pride. "Together, we are unstoppable. We fought for our love, and it has only grown." From the depths of the chasm, a soft glow began to radiate, and the Guardian of Hearts emerged once more, its presence shimmering with a divine light. "You have triumphed against the darkness, true heroes of love. The curse that sought to bind you has been broken, and your bond fortified." "What now?" Callista asked, the weight of their journey settling upon her with a mix of exhaustion and relief. "The path ahead is yours to forge," the Guardian replied, its voice soothing like a balm. "Now your love is a beacon that can guide others through their trials. You are forever changed, stronger than you ever imagined possible." As the Guardian's words settled in their hearts, Lysander took Callista's hands into his, the warmth of their connection igniting anew. "We will share our story and inspire others to fight for their love," he vowed, his voice steady with purpose. Callista smiled, her spirit soaring. "And together, we will ensure that love prevails against all odds." With a sense of destiny enveloping them, the lovers stepped from the abyssal chasm, the light of hope guiding their way into the world beyond. Though the trials ahead would continue to challenge them, their hearts were united in a bond that could withstand the fiercest storms. And thus the tale of Callista and Lysander echoed through the ages, a testament to the power of love, sacrifice, and unwavering devotion in a world teeming with darkness. This story became a beacon for all, inspiring heroes and lovers alike to believe in the enduring strength of the human heart, a love that conquers even the darkest of curses. To be continued. # Aphrodite protects mortal lovers until curse unleashes. Part 4. In the aftermath of their victory over Thera, Callista and Lysander emerged from the abyssal chasm like phoenixes reborn, their hearts ablaze with the power of love. The skies above Elysia shimmered in brilliant hues, and the sun poured golden light upon the land, illuminating their path as they journeyed back to Thalassia. but unbeknownst to them, shadows stirred once more, as their malevolence had not been fully vanquished. As dusk descended, the couple entered the village, greeted by the sounds of laughter and joyous revelry. It was the Festival of the Stars, a night where the villagers celebrated love's triumphs under the brilliance of the celestial bodies. Yet, as Callista and Lysander took in the familiar sights, their hearts swelled with a bittersweet tinge. They had come far, but the journey was far from over. "Look, they're relighting lanterns," Callista exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with wonder. "It is beautiful, isn't it?" "Like our love," Lysander replied, his voice rich with affection. "But let us not forget the dangers that still lurk in the shadows." He squeezed her hand, a reminder of their shared strength. As they joined the festivities, the air crackled with excitement, but Callista couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss. The elders whispered amongst themselves, their expressions clouded with confusion and concern. She glanced at Lysander, her brow furrowing. "Do you sense it, too? There is an undercurrent of unease." Before he could respond, a sudden hush fell over the crowd. All eyes turned toward the village square, where a figure emerged from the darkness, a cloaked figure, its presence commanding and foreboding. "People of Thalasha," the figure boomed, its voice echoing with an otherworldly resonance. "I am Kale, herald of shadows, servant to the dark gods who dwell in the abyss. Your victory over Thor was but a fleeting moment of light. Darkness shall consume you alone." Gasps rippled through the crowd, and panic began to take hold. Callista felt bile rise in her throat, her heart racing as Lysander stepped forward, his sword drawn, glinting in the fading light. "We will not allow you to threaten our home. Your darkness has no power here." Kale laughed, a chilling sound that echoed like a death knell. "Foolish mortal, love is but a candle flickering in the wind. I be come to reclaim what is mine." With a flourish, he raised his hands, summoning tendrils of shadows that snaked through the air like serpents ready to strike. Callista's heart pounded in her chest, but she felt the warmth of the necklace pulsing against her skin, a reminder of their journey and the strength of their bond. "We won't let you tear us apart," she shouted, stepping beside Lysander, her resolve igniting like a flame. "Together!" Lysander roared, and with a battle cry, they charged toward Kale, fueled by the love that had survived the trials of the abyss. In that moment, the realm of shadows clashed against the light of their love. Kale unleashed a surge of dark energy, his tendrils wrapping around Lysander's arms, pulling him back. "You think you can defy the darkness? Your love is weak, it will crumble. Not while we stand united." Callista shouted, dodging a wave of darkness that surged toward her, her dagger glinting in the dim light. As she lunged forward, she twisted and thrust the blade into the shadows, the essence of love coursing through her as she fought with every ounce of strength. But Kale's darkness was relentless. He summoned a phantom army, shadowy figures rising from the ground, each one a reflection of the fears that had tormented the villagers. The echoes of betrayal and despair resonated through the air, piercing the hearts of those who had gathered. "Look around you," Kale taunted. "Your love cannot save you. Your friends will turn against you. Even now, they doubt your resolve." As the phantom figures closed in, the villagers faltered, fear etching itself onto their faces. Callista's heart sank at the sight of her neighbors, the camaraderie of their small village threatened by this insidious darkness. "Hold your ground," she cried, her voice breaking through the chaos. "We must stand firm against the shadows, remember the strength of our love." Lysander fought fiercely, striking down the phantoms that surged toward them, but more emerged to take their place. "Callista, we need to find a way to dispel this darkness. We can't hold them back forever." With a deep breath, Callista closed her eyes, reaching into the depths of her heart to summon the light they had forged together. "Aphrodite, grant us your strength," she whispered, her voice barely audible amidst the clamor. At that moment, a radiant beam of light pierced through the gloom, illuminating the village square. Aphrodite manifested before them, her presence enveloping Callista and Lysander in a warm embrace. "Fear not, my children," she spoke, her voice like a soothing melody. "Love is the strongest shield against darkness. You must wield it with unwavering faith." "Together," Callista shouted, instilled with newfound strength. She raised her dagger, and Lysander lifted his sword, the weapons glowing as they became conduits of love and light. With Aphrodite's blessing, the brilliance surged forth, illuminating the shadows and banishing the phantoms that clawed at the villagers' hearts. "We will not waver," they declared in unison, their voices harmonizing into a powerful resonance that echoed through the village. Kale staggered back, rage twisting his features. "No, this cannot be." He extended his hands, summoning a tempest of shadows, but the warmth of love consumed the darkness, scattering it like ashes in the wind. With a fierce cry, Callister and Lysander charged forward, the light of their love piercing through Kel's defenses. Your darkness has no hold here, Lysander proclaimed, slashing through the tendrils that sought to ensnare them. Together, Callister echoed, her dagger striking true, and the combined force of their love shattered the shadows that had plagued Thalasher. In one final surge, they thrust their weapons into the heart of the darkness, releasing the full power of their union. The light exploded outward, engulfing the village in a radiant glow, and the shadows writhed in agony. No, this cannot be the end. Hale shrieked, his form disintegrating into wisps of smoke, banished by the purity of Love's light. With a deafening roar, the darkness shattered, and Kale's presence evaporated into the night. The villagers stood in awe as the shadows dissolved, the fears lifted like a heavy blanket, replaced by a sense of hope and renewal. Aphrodite smiled down upon them, her eyes shimmering with pride. You have proven that love can withstand even the darkest of trials. Hold it close and let it guide your hearts. With tears of relief and joy streaming down her face, Callister turned to Lysander. We did it, we fought together, and our love triumphed. He enveloped her in his arms, their hearts beating as one. We will always fight together, no matter the darkness that threatens us. The villagers erupted into cheers, their spirits lifted, and the celebration of love resumed, stronger than before. Lanterns floated into the night sky, illuminating the darkness with the brilliance of hope, as couples embraced and laughter echoed throughout Thalasher. Yet, as the night wore on, Callister felt the weight of destiny upon her. The trials they faced had made them stronger, but she sensed that their journey was not yet complete. Lysander, she whispered, a hint of uncertainty in her voice. What if Thor returns? What if the darkness rises once more? He cupped her face, his gaze unwavering. Then we will stand together, as we always have. Love is a force that cannot be extinguished. We are the guardians of our own hearts. And with that, they turned to the horizon, where the first light of dawn began to break. Together, they would forge a new path, a testament to Love's enduring power, ready to inspire others to believe in the strength of their own hearts. As the sun rose over Elysia, a new day dawned, filled with promise and hope, a reminder that even in a world steeped in shadows, there would always be light. And thus, Callister and Lysander's tale became legend, echoing through the annals of time, a story of Love's triumph against the darkness, destined to inspire and illuminate the hearts of all who believed. Thus, the saga of love and perseverance continued, a never-ending journey woven into the fabric of existence, reminding all that true love never falters, transcending time, space, and even the darkest of curses. To be continued.